Well, hello there. So I've noticed using my tractor that starting it cranks over a little bit slow these days. I've had it a little more than 2 years. The battery's original as it should be, only after 2 years. But having the tractor parked outside in the cold weather, I'm noticing that the cold is sort of sucking the life out of the battery. And so after the tractor's been sitting for 2 or 3 weeks, trying to crank it over, it's been starting, but it's been cranking over awful slow. So I want to put a battery tender on the battery on this. But because of where the battery is on this, I needed a battery maintainer that had a cable on it and or a plug, right? So I picked up this NOCO Genius. I don't know how good this is, if it's good or bad or what have you, but it had all the options I wanted, and that was, it's got a plug on it. And if I can connect the terminals permanently to the battery and run the plug out through a seam in the cowl, whenever I need to use it, I can just plug in, disconnect it when I need to, plug it in when I need to, whatever the case may be. So there are a lot of chargers that have the same setup, but this was the one that was available to me, and it was only 30 bucks. It's got a 3-year warranty, and it's got some different modes on it: 12 volt AGM batteries, 12 volt lithium batteries, and 6 volt. In this case, I just need the standard 12 volt for the tractor, but it should work out good. With the Curtis cab, I have a little bit more work to do to get to the battery. The battery is down underneath this cowl, and I have to take that cowl off. That's part of the cab. Then I've got to get the screen off. That's part of the tractor. Still hanging on over here. Oh, it's stuck on the pedal. So here's the charger, there's the brains, there's the plug, and then this section connects to my battery, but I'm hoping to not use the alligator clips. I'm going to disconnect it here and somehow permanently mount it to the battery, or the terminal anyway, and then kind of leave this hanging out so I can just plug this in whenever I need to. So it looks like these are 3mm Allen screws. So this is the part I want to connect this permanently to the battery terminals. So the positive side is going to fit on the bolt that's there. The negative side was, the hole was too small, so I took a round file and just opened this hole up a little bit, and I think that's going to fit on there now just fine. So we'll put this in this way. And bend that down and over. That way when I put the plastic cover over the whole thing, it'll all fit under there. Beauty. Now the negative side. It fits nice this way, but then I can't put the cover on it because of all of this. So I think I'm just going to slide it down like this, squeeze the nut onto it, keep this pointed downward. We'll kind of crush the connector a little bit, but it still should hold good. Nice. And you know the upside to this too is I can meter my voltage right from here. I don't know if I want to leave this down on the bottom or have it come out over the top. I think I'd rather have it up here. That way it's less likely to get water, because the floor does get wet even though there's a cab. I was forgetting about the cowl for the cab. That's going to be awful tight. The screen here will cover pretty easily because it only goes to this, but I won't have enough slack to get up and around the whole cowl. I'm guessing. I don't know. I might have to move it out over here. We'll see. I've got options, right? I've got 12 volt, I've got 12 volt AGM. This is not an AGM battery, this is lead acid, so I just want this 12 volt. But I have an AGM option, and I have a 12 volt lithium option, and I have a 6 volt option. But I just want the 12 volt option. So with this charger, once I'm plugged in, I have to connect it all up, hit the mode button to get to the correct battery type, in this case just standard 12 volt. And then this LED will change colors depending on the state of charge. So after thinking about it, I think this is the best place to leave this hanging out. I could run it out through the bottom, but the floor gets wet, and I don't want to leave this hanging on the sitting in a puddle, or potentially in a puddle, right? So I think this is going to be all right. So this might be overkill, but I happen to have it, so I'm going to use a piece of this to protect this from being pinched by the cover. Let's take this cover back off and see how much I need. That'll probably be enough. Like I said, I just want to protect it from these edges. They're not very sharp, but it's going to get squished. Get that one started. So when it's all said and done, I can plug in here. Leave the whole thing up and off the floor, so when the floor gets wet, which it inevitably does, water will seep in from one place or another and the floor will get wet. Not soaking wet, but enough to where I don't want to take the chance of leaving this or this sitting on the floor and potentially in a puddle, right? This is gonna still keep me pretty much sealed up. And the instructions for this say it can be left plugged in indefinitely. It doesn't get any easier or simpler than that. So that'll keep my battery charged and keep me running in the dead of winter. I appreciate you watching. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time.